Hi, I'm Gary White for Channel 6, Central Kentucky Television. I'm here with Talora Schlosser, who is the Marion County School Superintendent, for an update on what's going on with the Marion County Schools, our monthly update. And there's always a lot of good stuff to talk about, but also recently there was an incident that we want to mention that happened in the schools, and it's regarding school safety, which we've been talking about as well. That there's been planning going on with the school districts, and every school district in the country is dealing with issues of safety. But tell us, if you would, what happened recently at Marion County High School, I believe, right?
Last week, our high school staff was notified of a potential safety hazard, and our administrators and our school resource officers acted quickly. We did have a case where there was a look-alike firearm in the trunk of a car of a student. Our school resource officer and our principal retrieved that. At no time were children in any safety issue. We then followed the procedure and the protocol, and we went through that process, and we're actually still working on that today. One of the things that I have been asked, and I hope it's okay for me to talk about this, is some folks had some questions about why wasn't I notified immediately. And our protocol is, if children are in immediate danger, that is when I would actually do a one call at that point, and this campus would go on lockdown if it occurred on this campus. If it was in one of our elementary or middle schools out in the community, of course that would just be identified for that individual school. The reason that we wait until afterwards, after school was out, we don't want to disrupt the school day. Children were safe, procedures and protocol were followed, law enforcement were involved. No one was in any danger, so after school, that's when I wanted to make the community aware of what happened, just so that it is very clear about what happened, where that was, and how that was handled. So just two different situations there. I just wanted to make sure that the community and families understood the difference between each of those.
So it was a case where the schools was notified of a look-alike firearm in a vehicle on the premises, but not actually a firearm in the building. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay. And it was a notification through a phone call, did you say?
Yes, it was. It was we received a phone call at the high school, and we immediately started working on ensuring that everyone was safe.
I want to make people aware too that firearms aren't allowed in the building, obviously, which people would assume, but also they're not allowed on the premises. That is a violation.
That is correct. There is a gun-free act that is a federal law that schools are in compliance with, and our student code of conduct is very clear about what those weapons can be, or even a look-alike, and what the punishment is.
Okay. And there is protocol for how that procedure goes forward.
Absolutely, and we are working alongside of our board attorney to ensure that we follow all those steps.
Okay. Now you're mentioning too, there is a way for people to notify the schools if they know, like in this case where you were notified of that firearm being in the vehicle on the premises. What's the protocol that people could follow for that?
Well, I mean, obviously, we're always thankful when our parents have a relationship with their children. If their children share something, when they notify us, Gary, that's the best way we can keep our kids safe. But we also have on our website, you will see a stop sign, and the Center for School Safety originally put that out as an anonymous way to report bullying. What we have gone one step further is we have, and when you walk in our buildings, you're going to see some 8x11 signs that basically just remind folks, if you want to let us know of a concern and you want to do that anonymously, you can go to our website, you can type that in, it goes to us immediately, and we can actually start working on that as soon as we read that. And so it's a great way for families and students to report to us, and you do that anonymously.
Right. and that is the stop. Look for the
Yes.
stop on the website
Yes,
for
yes.
stop issues. Now, also another case we want to talk about is you are proceeding with the planning committee. And last time we were talking, you were trying to get all the people who would be on that committee, because there were different people who had to be seated, correct? What's the status of that committee at this present time?
We currently have the 20 members on the roll, so to speak, and we are waiting for the Kentucky Department of Education to finalize their approval. Once that approval takes place, then it will be time for the local planning committee to actually go through an orientation process. So, hopefully we're just waiting on them to give us the thumbs up. If in the event that didn't happen, we'll go back to the drawing board. We'll work on what KDE asked us to do, and then as soon as that process is finalized, we'll be ready to start an orientation, sit down with our architects, and they are actually, and this summer, they have actually been working on doing an assessment of each building. They're going to go through and look at, are buildings handicap accessible? Do we have, what's our HVAC look like? Are we in compliance with what the expectations are for the building? So they've already been doing a lot of preliminary work, so it'll be nice to be able to sit down and hear from them and go through that orientation process, and it'll take a minimum of about 6 meetings to get this completed. And one of the things that we're going to want to do is try to get our work completed so that we can get that to actually the State Board of Education for their approval when the plan is finally complete.
So the group, the 20 individuals, once that's approved, they'll be looking at the structure for our community and what needs to be done and all that kind of stuff. And then that needs to be approved by the state before construction or what have you can proceed.
Well, I probably skipped a step. They're going to make a recommendation to our board, and then our board will approve that, and then from that it will go on to the state board. So basically there's a local level process and then a state level process.
And that's all before it can proceed for
Yes.
construction, right?
Yeah, yes, sir.
Okay. Now, also, recently, the Marion County School District has been involved with some others for an innovation program, I believe.
Right.
Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes, last year we started this process with a group of districts, and the districts were willing to look at what other folks, not only in Kentucky, but around the country are doing to address education in an innovative way. If you turn on the TV, you're going to see things like abc.com, and there's a lot of different ways now that we acquire our education, and so Marion County Public Schools wants to be that district that is looking at all kinds of different things. And so it's a great group of superintendents and district staff and principals that we work with. It gives us an opportunity to visit. For example, today we're having a conference call, and everyone will be on that conference call. Everyone has an opportunity to share, and I just think that teamwork, a lot of times when we talk about teams, we think about our local, but this is an opportunity for Marion County Public Schools to be a part of a team in Kentucky that are looking for innovative ways to make sure our kids are success ready.
Fantastic. Now, also, as we're recording this interview, it is for Marion County people Ham Days Week, for the Ham Days Festival that's going on. And the schools are involved in that, particularly on Tuesday. I know a lot of the students get to participate in the races that go on there, the Pigpen Relay. But also, you're doing some stuff with reading to try and get the word out of that.
Yes,
right?
yes, we are. Our Dream Bus will be in the parade. We're always excited about that. We will be set up on Civic Row. We will have books to give away, and if you'll see, I have a sticker, and one of the things that we want to promote is reading 20 minutes a day. Gary, we have 6 Big Dreams in Marion County, and this is actually the 6th year that we've been working on that. 2 of our dreams are about learning begins at birth and also making sure that our kids come to school kindergarten ready. And our ultimate dream is that all kids graduate, and they graduate college ready, career ready, success ready. But we recognize that one of the things that we can do early on is to read to our child 20 minutes a day. And then once that child starts reading on their own, is to encourage that child to read 20 minutes books by themselves. And so when you come by the Dream Bus, we're going to ask you to put your name down. We're going to ask you to commit to reading to your child 20 minutes a day, or we're going to ask you to commit to encouraging your own child or even yourself to read 20 minutes a day. We just feel like that, we started out really strong with this program. We're so happy with the Dolly Parton Imagination Foundation. We're so happy that students or future students are receiving a book in the mail each day. So we just want to remind folks of just how important that is and what reading can do to your vocabulary and the opportunities that you can have in the future.
Fantastic. So look for them out at Marion County Country Ham Days as well,
Yes,
right?
Absolutely. Civic Row, you'll see the Dream Bus. You can't miss it. And most of the kids, when they see the Dream Bus, they smile. We'll be driving in the parade, and our student ambassadors are helping us with that. Very proud of that group of young leaders in our community. When we talk about Six Big Dreams and we talk about next generation Marion County, our student ambassadors were the first to really jump on board with that, and we've really grown our leadership program at all levels. So, it's one thing for the administrators or teachers to be giving out books, but we actually are going to have student leaders helping us give out books and walk in the parade at Ham Day. So very happy and excited to be a part of Country Ham Days.
Okay. And then also coming up very soon, which I know students are very happy about too, is fall break, right?
Yes, it is. This week is actually going to be a 4-day week. Ham Days is a pretty big event for Marion County. It's actually listed as one of the best festivals, so if you read anything about it. So we have a lot of traffic. Fall break is next week. A lot of folks like to travel on Friday, so we will not be in school on Friday. Give folks, if they are going out of town, a chance to go out of town, but it also give folks to support our Ham Days event, and also we're not going to be interfering with a lot of the festivities downtown, especially with our transportation.
Right. So that kicks off on Friday, September the 28th, and then the entire week that you're closed, right? So you come back on the 8th?
Yes, we'll come back on Monday. And then I guess, we have had our early release days. We've had 2 of those. Just want to say I appreciate the parents for making arrangements for their children. I know that our principals are working really hard, even though it is an early release day, to make that a very meaningful day. I know at our secondary schools, we've had some opportunities for kids to be a part of clubs. Really pleased with how hard our middle school, Night Academy, and high school is working to ensure that every child has an opportunity to belong to an activity beyond just that traditional classroom. So, our next event will, off day will be an early release day, but our next break will come around the 1st of November.
Great. And again, I've been talking with Marion County School Superintendent Laura Schlosser. It's been Gary White for Channel 6 Central Kentucky Television.